Now we're going to work on a basic independence exercise for two hands. Okay, first of all, we're going to go back to our A note that we had on the 7th fret with our first finger. In the right hand, we're going to play an A minor chord arpeggio. The one that I've chosen for ease of playing is right here, and it's on the 9th fret of the 2nd string, the 10th fret of the 3rd string, and the 12th fret of the 4th string. If you're tuned in standard, you're actually going to be down here on the, probably on the 7th fret. Another position you can use if your hands get too close together would be doing the same thing, this A, but by moving it up 5 frets, 1 string back. So you may have already noticed that this note and 5 frets up, the string behind it, is the same note. Of course, that's because it's tuned in fourths. So for the camera and everything, I'm going to show it to you like this, but you may have your hand here. If you have any trouble, just find that note, find that pitch. You can hear it, match it, and then the rest of the fingers will always fall into the same relative position like that. Okay, so in the left hand we play one note. We're going to just play that. And in the right hand we're going to play 3 different notes, but the left hand is going to play every other note in the right hand. It'll be like this. The first part is to play with the highest and the lowest note. Like that. So let's do that again. The first time you play with this note at the same time, play that note by itself, the middle note, and play the lowest note with the bass, like this. Okay, the second half of this exercise is the bass will happen with the middle note, like this. Now the reason I broke this down into 2 parts, most of you will be able to play this, but if you have any trouble, you can split it up into those 2 halves and then put them together. So here's the actual exercise. The left hand plays every other note in the right hand. So I'll do that again, really slower. Now if you repeat that, what ends up happening is it sounds like this. So what that is the most rudimentary form of 3/4, or basically in simple terms, playing a quarter note and playing an odd number of notes in the right hand. The reason this is so important is because the scale patterns, at least a lot of them, are going to involve 3 notes per string. Of course your pentatonic doesn't, but it's easier to play 2 notes in the right hand and 2 notes in the left hand because they match up. So this is a really good exercise to get your 2 hands to begin to play independently. Here it is again. Now of course you can move the left hand like this. Now, what I just did there was I moved the left hand for every cycle, meaning where the fingers came back to the same place. So I did this. And if you counted the number of beats I played here, I played 3. So I only played 3 times, like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So what happened is I'm actually made my left hand is playing in 3/4. The reason is because the physical cycle, to start over again, forms 3, this finger plays the note 3 times. If you play in 4/4, it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, now for some of you that may be confusing. What happened is, or I guess I could use the word the problem, or the independence problem, happens right here. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then when you go to your next note, this is the finger that's supposed to happen. The tendency is going to be to start over again. The tendency is to go 2, 3, 4, 1. But you don't want to do that, at least for this exercise, because you want a smooth transition, meaning your right hand is always going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Because again, when you play your scales, your melodies, any kind of independent parts, you don't want your two hands to always try to restart again with the same fingers. Okay, so here it is one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Finally, my first two fingers start over again. Okay? You may have to watch this a couple times to get it. But basically what I'm saying is I want these fingers to always go like this and this to play 4 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth, like that. One last thing I'll add is you can play an octave in the left hand, which is kind of fun, like this. Playing the octave higher, 2 strings over, and then you play the pattern like this. I'll play it just on A. So that gets a little harder. I use my pinky a lot. You can use your third finger for the root. Either way works. So that would sound like this, sped up a little bit. Or you can move it over to D minor by moving one set of strings over like that. So instead of here, you're here. And of course you can move the bass up and down. And that, of course, gets more complicated. Again, don't try to play it that fast. I'm just giving you a last little idea. Once you learn the exercise, what you can start to begin to do with it. Okay, and that's the beginning of two-hand independence.